When I was a little kid, from time to time I would hear about other kids being shipped off to boarding schools. The sheer thought of living away from my parents and siblings kinda scared me, since I've always had a close relationship with my family. Oh well, that's never gonna happen to me. I'm perfectly happy where I am. There's no reason for me to go anyway. Wait, what? And so, as a freshman in high school, my year began at a boarding school on the top of a mountain in Switzerland. At first, I thought that everything about it would be super fancy and stuff, but when I got there, I realized we don't live in a castle. Nobody's wearing fancy dresses or tuxedos. Kids here survive off of chicken nuggets and french fries from that sketchy burger shop down the street. But what they did have was an absolutely amazing view. I was constantly impressed throughout the entire year. Like, wait, do I actually live here? Of course, the school was still somewhat fancy in certain ways, because we had uniforms and the food was still better than public school food. Although the chips there were way too overpriced even at the grocery store. For the first few weeks, the idea of being on my own slowly sunk in. Wait, I'm not gonna see my family for 2 months straight. I really missed them for a while, but then after that, I kinda just got used to it. Sorry guys, but I honestly didn't miss y'all as much as I thought I would. When classes started, I realized that they were way more fun than any other school I've been to, because you really knew everybody since you lived with them, including the teachers. If you wanted to crack a joke to your friends in the middle of silent reading time, you could. And the teacher would hear, but she would be chill about it. As for the actual campus, there were a bunch of separate buildings for different grade levels and different dorms. Whenever we had class, everybody had to walk from building to building just to get to their next period. Some kids even called taxis, even though it was just a 5-minute walk. I'm proud to say that I didn't pay for a single taxi the entire year. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was hyped when winter came. Which is perfectly reasonable, because who doesn't want to go ski and snowboard twice a week for like 3 months? The town is literally a ski resort, so you could just walk 15 minutes and then ride the lift up to the slopes. I didn't grow up in a cold place, so I never really experienced winter activities. Except for that one time when it snowed really hard, but that's already another video. Since I never even touched a pair of skis or a snowboard before, I was put in the beginner group, and we started off our lessons on this tiny hill area. I chose snowboarding because I enjoy the feeling of not being able to stand up properly. I remember renting my board at the local shop and thinking, wow, this snowboard looks so cool. And then I realized that half the school had the exact same one as me. My first day was really cloudy and snowy, so I couldn't really see anything, but it was still fun. Eventually, I improved my skills, but that didn't stop me from falling down a bajillion times each lesson. I remember once during school we had to set goals for the semester or something, and mine was to not injure myself while snowboarding. The next day during my lesson, I fell flat on my face and used my hand in an attempt to catch myself, and then it felt weird after that, so I went to the nurse's office and she said that I sprained my wrist. That set me back by about a week, but we don't give up, right? After a while, I got good enough to leave the tiny beginner hill and go onto the big kid mountain. Even though I was kinda like literally the last person in my group to do that, but we don't give up, we don't give up. I felt like such a pro up there until I saw a bunch of 3-year-olds speeding down the most difficult slopes, so that was a nice boost of confidence. And then when I tried the snow park, I fell again and hurt my neck. I'm fine. Anyway, usually winter on that mountain is supposed to have a lot of snow, but for that year it only snowed a ton during the first week, and everybody just had to ski in slush for like 3 months. And as soon as the slopes closed, of course the weather was like, you know, I think this is the perfect time to release a fresh layer of powder. But I think I can speak on behalf of mostly everyone at my school when I say that ski season is always the best part of the school year. But since that's only in winter, fall and spring could get boring sometimes, so the school would organize fun weekend trips for us. One of my favorite trips of the year was whitewater rafting. Basically, you wear a wetsuit, life jacket, and helmet, and then you get into this inflatable raft with 7 other people and paddle down a river. I was lucky enough to be able to do it twice, and both times while we were floating down the water, I was like, dang, this place is beautiful. At one point, my school offered some big trips like bungee jumping and paragliding, but I didn't really feel like dying at a young age, so I passed on those. Most weekends, we would visit cities outside of our town. For me personally, I think it's funny to walk into a store, see the prices, and then leave while realizing nothing is in your price range. Once my friend and I were just looking around a sports store, and when we saw this random pair of sunglasses going for 150 francs, we were kind of just like, nope, 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 and slowly backed out of the store. One thing I did buy during that year was a pair of shoes, but I immediately regretted buying them like literally 5 seconds after I walked out of the store because my parents weren't there to give me any advice or like feedback about it, so that was kind of a waste of money. Each semester, we would also have a trip where the teachers took us to a different country, and for freshmen and middle schoolers, they took us to Italy at the end of the year. We visited the Leaning Tower of Pisa and went to the beach and, just did some Italian stuff, I guess. And then after this trip, the year was officially over. I was honestly really sad because for me, leaving a school is like pressing a restart button. It meant that next year I would have to start all over again. Even though the year went by fast, this experience was such a fun and eye-opening time for me. Getting kicked out of my comfort zone forced me to improve my people skills a lot. I went from a literal child who was lacking social awareness and emotional intelligence to a slightly older child who now knows how to interact with people properly. And also I got to learn how to snowboard. I'm so grateful that I was able to experience this because even though everyone says it way too much, it really is the experience of a lifetime. So I said goodbye to Switzerland for now, but who knows? Maybe I'll be back sooner than I expect. Hey, thanks for making it to the end. A cool experience deserves a cool video, so hope you enjoyed. Pretty sure this is my longest video yet, but it was actually so fun to make, so let me know if you want a part 2 to this, because there's so many funny stories that I didn't get the chance to share yet. But yeah, see you next time then.